Can you believe this? Are we seriously talking about this again? Just when you thought the Vancouver Canucks had their act together, bam, they hit you with another head-scratcher. Is it pure genius or the definition of insanity? We're about to find out because the whispers are getting louder, and they're all about a name, a name you either love or, well, you're probably pretty conflicted about Brock Boeser. The Boeser backtrack? Canucks eyeing a last-minute reunion. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we've got a bombshell that's going to shake up the Canucks nation. The Vancouver Canucks' relentless and, frankly, somewhat frustrating search for a top-6 forward on the NHL trade market seems to have hit a snag. And what does that mean? It means it's time for Plan B. And by Plan B, I mean Plan Brock. Yes, we are talking about Brock Boeser. This is not a drill. Folks, after what felt like an eternity of trade rumors, speculation, and frankly, some rather pointed comments from the Canucks brass about Boeser's future, it seems like the tides might be turning. Is this the ultimate never-say-never moment, or are we witnessing a desperate last-minute Hail Mary pass from a team that's run out of options? My gut tells me it's a little bit of both, and honestly, it's got me on the edge of my seat. The Rossi Roadblock. Why Plan A went sideways? Let's quickly address why we're even contemplating a Boeser reunion. For weeks, if not months, the talk has been about acquiring a legitimate second-line center to play behind Elias Pettersson. Names have been thrown around, rumors have swirled, and the general consensus was that the Canucks were aggressively pursuing an upgrade. One of the names that garnered significant buzz was Minnesota Wild center Marco Rossi. The idea was that Rossi could seamlessly slot in as the de facto number 2 center, providing that crucial offensive punch and defensive responsibility that the Canucks have been craving. Imagine Pettersson, then Rossi, and then a healthy Philip Chytil. That's a formidable center depth chart right there. But here's the cold, hard dose of reality. There's a major hurdle in the way of a Rossi acquisition, and it's a big one. The Philadelphia Flyers, a team with ample draft capital and significant cap space, a team that should be able to make a move like this if they wanted to, are reportedly unwilling to meet Rossi's rumored contract demands. If a team like the Flyers, who are actively rebuilding and have assets to spare, are balking at the price, what does that tell you about the Canucks' chances? It tells you that the odds of Vancouver going there are slim to none. It's a classic case of, if it's too rich for them, it's definitely too rich for us. And that, my friends, is why Plan A seems to be crumbling before our eyes, forcing the Canucks to look inward. The Boeser conundrum: too little, too late, or a stroke of genius. So, if Rossi is off the table, what's the next logical step? Well, if you're Canucks insider Rick Dhaliwal, you start to entertain the possibility of a happily ever after scenario with Brock Boeser. Dhaliwal, never one to shy away from dropping a significant hint, raised the possibility of a Boeser reunion on his Donnie and Daily show this past Friday. He said, with a hint of dubiousness, just keep an eye on Boeser. I don't think the Canucks are 100% out on this, and we'll keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on him. What does that even mean when we're talking about a player who everyone assumed was as good as gone? It means there's a sliver of hope, a small chance, and as Dhaliwal pointed out, a small chance is technically better than no chance at all. And let's be honest, from a pure talent perspective, Boeser, while not a center, is undeniably a better and more productive player than the vast majority of options available on the free agent market this year. Unless, of course, you're willing to completely blow your salary cap out of the water to sign someone like Mitch Marner. And let's be real, no one is doubling Boeser's salary for Marner in Vancouver right now. But here's where the emotional roller coaster truly begins. Dhaliwal also brought up some incredibly pertinent points regarding the Canucks' past treatment of Boeser, treatment that got them into this messy situation in the first place. He specifically referenced the immediate signings of Drew O'Connor and Marcus Pettersson from the Pittsburgh Penguins within 2 weeks of their arrival in Vancouver. And then there were those infamous comments from Patrick Allvin at the trade deadline about Brock, comments that, according to Dhaliwal, didn't go over well with the Boeser camp. Think about that for a second. The Canucks signed 2 former Penguins almost immediately, signaling a clear commitment to them. Meanwhile, one of their own, a long-serving, highly skilled player, is left twisting in the wind, with public comments questioning his future. If you were Brock Boeser or his agent, how would you feel? Would you be feeling the love? Would you be eager to re-sign with a team that seemed to be actively trying to move you? This isn't just business, it's personal. And the Canucks seemingly made it very personal for Boeser. The audacity, the sheer audacity of it all, the argument for a reunion. Can the Canucks afford to let him go? So, is there a compelling argument to be made that the Canucks are making a colossal mistake by letting Boeser walk the plank this offseason, especially after failing to move him at the deadline? In theory, a reunion does make a lot of sense for both sides, despite the strained relationship. For the Canucks, the simple truth is this: they cannot easily replace him. Boeser is a proven NHL scorer, a consistent 20 to 25 goal threat, when healthy, with a wicked shot and a knack for finding open ice. Replacing that kind of production, especially with their limited cap space and trade assets, is incredibly difficult. Keeping him provides immediate stability and a known quantity in their top six. For Boeser, despite the perceived slights, returning to Vancouver offers familiarity, a core group of players he's grown up with, and a chance to prove his worth on a team that, if things go well, could be a contender. It's a chance for a redemption arc, for him to silence the doubters and show the Canucks that he is an indispensable part of their future. But here's the rub, and it's a big one. Can both sides truly mend fences? Can they move past the perceived disrespect and the public trade talks? It will take a significant amount of trust, a willingness to forgive, and a genuine desire from both the team and the player to make it work. This isn't just about contract dollars, it's about rebuilding a fractured relationship. Time, as they say, will tell. And in this case, time will tell sooner rather than later. We are on the precipice of a monumental decision for the Vancouver Canucks. Will they swallow their pride and make a legitimate last-minute offer to Brock Boeser? Or will they double down on their previous stance and let a valuable asset walk for nothing, only to desperately search for a replacement they might not even be able to find? This is the kind of drama that keeps us glued to our screens, isn't it? So, what do you, the loyal Canucks Nation, think about all of this? Is a Boeser reunion a brilliant move or a desperate act? Should the Canucks go all in to keep him? Or is it time to truly move on? Let me know your unfiltered thoughts in the comments below. Don't hold back. And if this discussion got your blood pumping, if you found this breakdown insightful, please hit that like button, share this video with your fellow Canucks fans, and subscribe to the channel for more exclusive news and fiery opinions. We're here for you, bringing you the latest and keeping you engaged until the very end. See you next time.